Well, a legal decision, as you've heard, was handed down today linked to the shooting deaths of 3 Mounties and the wounding of 2 others in Moncton 3 years ago. A New Brunswick judge found the RCMP guilty of failing to provide its officers with the right equipment, but not guilty on charges related to training and supervision. The CBC's Gabrielle Fahmy has the story.
For the families of the Mounties who died, the trial has been painful. Today, some sense of relief.
Relief that there was going to be accountability, and that, you know, people were not going to just be able to, because they're a big government entity, that they can just do what they want.
I felt all along that that if the RCMP members would have had the proper equipment, that my husband would not have died, and the father of my children would not have died.
In his decision, Judge Leslie Jackson found the Moncton officers were ill-prepared to face an attacker like Justin Bourque, and that the organization limped along for years on the issue of giving officers more powerful weapons. It's clear that their approach to the rollout was focused on the odds of an event such as the Moncton murders ever happening, rather than on their duty to ensure the health and safety of its members, wrote Jackson. The judge had some harsh words for senior managers, saying they were repeating talking points when they came to testify, but that their inactions spoke louder. A real concern for the health and safety of frontline members would have seen a rollout of the patrol carbine prioritized and not left to the vagrancies of available funding, he wrote. And while the judge sided with the Crown today, prosecutor Paul Adams called this a difficult case.
To think of what took place here in Moncton in June of 2014 and the loss and suffering that resulted from it, and to think that the employer failed to properly equip and train officers to respond to that type of situation, I think is, well, it's a tragedy.
Members of the force say they're happy with the ruling, but worry this may not be the end of the story.
Because they took this to trial, because my gut feeling is telling me that they might appeal.
The defense says it's too early to tell whether it'll appeal today's decision. And while the RCMP has been found guilty, it's not clear yet what the consequences will be. Judge Leslie Jackson will deliver his sentence on November 23rd. Gabrielle Fahmy, CBC News, Moncton.